So going back to one of our top stories, India has presented the G4 model for UN Security Council reforms on behalf of Brazil, Germany and Japan. And to discuss these reforms proposed, we have with us Pinak Ranjan Chakravarty, former senior diplomat and former secretary with India's Ministry of External Affairs. He joins us from New Delhi. Welcome, sir, to Newshour.
Thank you.
India's permanent representative at the UN, Ruchira Kamboj, has said that the world can no longer wait for UN reforms. Why have UN reforms not taken so much importance and urgency so far?
Well, it's a question of hegemony. You know, the P5 members who control the veto don't want to give it up. And despite many countries saying that, yes, we want reforms, etc., and we want India and the G4 countries to be part of the UNSC. There's a lot of, what shall we say, double speak here. They say one thing, but they really don't want any change because they control the veto and they don't want to give it up. So I think it's a question of the hegemons trying to give space to, the global South and other important countries, large countries. The G4, and it's like, look, I control this, so why should I give it up to some others? It's very simple in that sense. That but then there are consequences. If the UN does not reform, which has been a long-standing proposal and demand of many countries, including the global South, then the UN might go the way of the League of Nations, which would be extremely, sad and not good for the world we live in.
Indeed. Sir, the UNSC reforms proposed by India include new permanent members elected democratically by the UN General Assembly and flexibility as regards the power of veto. How do you see the importance of these proposals?
Look, there are many proposals. A, B, C, D, and all that. But the basic proposals are very clear that the UNSC needs to expand. And then the UNSC needs to include permanent members out of the G4. The G4 members are demanding that they should be made permanent members with veto powers. So there are others, the Coffee Club, for example, who oppose this because these are opponents of, let's say, Pakistan is there, Italy is there, but not necessarily opponents of Israel, but Pakistan is one of them. That there should be no permanent, there should be no expansion of permanent membership, but a general expansion with rotating membership, etc. So there are a lot of these, proposals that are in the air, but ultimately somebody will have to decide. And they will have to take a vote or something in the General Assembly, put all the proposals up for vote, and then decide whether this works or not. But this kind of for I don't know how many, since the 90s, this has been going on. I don't know how long it will go, but I suspect even in the current situation where we have two rather unfortunate wars going on in the Ukraine and Gaza, the UN has been seen to be completely impotent and useless, actually. And they can't do nothing because it's controlled by the P5, who will not allow, because of their geopolitical interests, that the UN should function in a logical manner. So that is the.
In your opinion, sir, does India deserve a more important place in the UNSC? Why I'm asking this again is because India has vehemently been proposing reforms as far as the G4 is also concerned.
Well, it's there on the table for a very long time. India has been asking for reforms. India wants to be a permanent member with veto power. Even on that veto power, there are debates whether the new permanent member should have it or not. But I think it's I mean, if the UN has to really do something and be relevant in geopolitics and the future of our world, then I think they have to take a call on this. The new countries, the G4, becoming permanent members with veto powers. There is no other alternative.
At this moment, do you see any likelihood of the Indian proposal for reforms or any other worthwhile proposal going through?
No, I don't see that.
Why?
It's been delayed. It's been delayed for what? 30 years, 25 to 30 years. And we know that the P5 members, even those who mouth, kind of, statements that yes, we agree, we support India, we should expand. They're not really interested in this. And of course, we have our adversary, China, which also mouths these inanities, but they will not agree. We know that.
So the future of the UNSC, according to you, is bleak.
Absolutely. You used the right word. It's bleak. And I don't see them expanding or progressing beyond the verbosity that we hear from all the countries and the double standards that we see. But that's part of geopolitics, and that's how I see it.
All right. Thank you very much, Pinak ji, for joining us on DD India News Hour.